Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
So welcome everyone. Today we are here with Professor Zhou Lin from China, and we will have a discussion or dialogue between us two, and the topic will be art law. So to myself, I'm a fifth semester law student here at the University of Münster, and as of right now, I'm doing an internship here at the ITM, and I also got to know the topic of art law, and for that we have Mr. Zhou Lin here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Zhou Lin. I work for China Academy of Social Science, and now I'm retired, but I also have a part-time professor at China Central Academy of Finance, where in the academy we set up Art Law Study Center. I'm now in charge of the center as a director.
All right, perfect. I think it's probably the best if we just skip right into the first question. And the first question will be, here in Münster, we have the Art Law Clinic, which was established in 2018. It connects the Art Academy Münster with the law faculty. Is the Central China Art College comparable to the Art Law Clinic here in Münster?
Yeah, you see, I have a long history, a long cooperation with ITM, with Professor Thomas Hill since 2000. Till now is 24 years. At the beginning, I was given the idea of information law. Yeah. Every time I'm here, normally I give 3 lectures: information law, corporate law, and art law. And Professor Richter asked me what the art law. So we also exchange ideas in art law fields. Since then, we have a lot of cooperations in information law and art law. I know that in 2018, they set up art law clinic in ITM, chaired by Prof. Thomas Hill. So just next year, in 2019, in China, with the support of China Central Academy of Fine Arts, in short, CAFA, we organized an international art law forum, that's the very first one in China. I cooperated with law faculty of Renmin University. In this art forum, we also invited a representative from ITM, that is Julia, come to China and give us an idea of art law clinic. We think the idea is very good. So at the forum, we announced to establish an art law study center, and also we established an art law clinic in CAFA, under the work of the art law center. Yeah.
All right. So the art law clinic here at the ITM, it offers the opportunity for art students to come here and get free legal advice for questions arising during the studies, for legal questions, and for all kind of questions which concerning them, and they don't really have the answer for that because it's kind of a law topic. So is there a comparable motto at your art law clinic? Because the motto here is law students for art students, and they can ask all the questions, they can come in here and ask questions, they can get email help, they get everything to get to answer to these questions. Is it comparable in China?
I think law clinic is very similar. and also very useful and practical places for the students in law faculty, not only in Germany, in China, but all countries in the world. That law clinic, you know that?
Yes,
You
I
are
know.
law students, you must participate with some of the law clinic. But art law clinic is quite different. You see, it's just a focus on art law and mostly give the legal advice for the art students.
Yes.
Yeah. The funny thing is that the art law clinic not established in a law faculty in China, but in an art academy. CAFA is maybe the top one art college or art university in China, very best art school. So every year we received hundreds of the new students coming from all provinces in China. Also, there were some foreign students. So we established the art law clinic just to follow or learn the ideas from the art law clinic of ITM. And the contents and the advices and systems, they're similar with that in ITM. Maybe the difference is that we ask the students, I mean, the master degree students in art law direction, each year, maybe 2 or 3 students of them that. And also we are some volunteer students to come into the art law clinic. And then we have some projects to write articles, papers, do some investigation, and also in the most of the works to receive the questions and give the answers to the students by email. Also, we have a platform on Chinese WeChat. We often give some art law news through the platform.
Like a kind of newsletter?
Yeah, a digital one, not published in paper, in Chinese media, but also just through the WeChat platform.
WeChat is comparable to WhatsApp here, probably, isn't it?
Yeah, and the people can get a message. I mean, got art law news frequently. What the new development, what's the cases, what opinions from the lawyers.
Recent court decisions, probably.
Yeah.
All right.
And also, the art law clinic also cooperates with some law firms, lawyers located in Beijing. Yeah, and the lawyers participate of the discussion and they give their opinions freely and voluntarily, and get a very good result.
So it's really comparable to the art law clinic here.
Yeah, similar.
Similar. All right. So let's move on and get to another question. The next question would be, with the increasing digitalization of art, how is Chinese law adapting to issues related to digital copyright and the use of art in online spaces? For instance, it's probably the most asked question, how is it regulating the use of AI?
Yeah. You see, AI and art is a hard topic, not only in the lower sector, but also in lower sector, in technology sector. In fact, is very a big impact to the whole society. People talking too much about AI. What AI, what I can do with AI machine, or what AI can give me. I can use it with help of the AI machine. Yeah, we also see that some lawyers, some companies use AI to take some simple and information collecting and calculating the works that save a lot of time and energy. Yeah, AI bring a new, I would say, a new situation that for people to use it. And it's also a hot topic of AI and art. I know some of the designers, some artists use AI for their art creation. But the question is that the output of AI is an art or not an art. What's your opinion?
So my opinion on that topic is probably a bit different than your opinion, because I could argue about it that it could be deemed as an art, because the user of the AI is getting all the information, and he is the one getting the attention, and also being the one that gives AI the call to do something like that. I think the whole process is influenced and initiated by a human, so it could be deemed as an art. But I think your opinion is probably a bit different on this topic, isn't it?
Yes, we can take the children. They are painting as an example. You see, I show you some pictures, like this one is some
a drawing.
It seems not a very formal and very standard painting that you just paint some colors on the paper to do what he can. Just brush it. And the little boy gave the idea is that, oh, I painted as an energy body. The white part is the body, and the pupil is arms, and the boy can give some stories, can explain it, no matter how bad the painting looks like, but it's not. Or a children's art. Quite simple and not looks like art, but we could see it's an art. But we also see this is the AI output. It looks good.
It looks good.
Yeah, it gives some words about some animal disappeared. And AI, you can paint it out, get it an image for me to see, to look at. Yes, give the instruction, and the AI give the output. Oh, you could see the imagine. It might be it's good to imagine. It's an animal. The animal might be the similar as the real animal, or some very different, just imaginary, a very strange one. But what we can see, or what we can recognize, the output of AI is art or not an art. So this question back to the idea or the definition of art. What is art? Normally, the students know that an art, it should be a human creation with the ideas of human. But how we can deal with the output of the machine? It's not come from the human directly.
And not directly, but I would argue about it. The AI itself, it is trained by a human. It is also trained by human arts and everything. So it learned all that relating to humans. So I would argue about it that an interpretation of it could be also deemed as an art, because the whole process is influenced by people and by humans and by their emotions and everything.
Yeah. But the question is that I just wonder if people know that how AI got the influence. You know the procedure? You know that?
I know that.
You know?
I know. No, I don't know. I think nobody knows that.
Nobody knows it. It's like a black box. You see? Yes. The machine get an instruction, get the words. Yes. And then he is hurriedly and to calculate it, calculate. And also, machine output is a result of calculations. The process of output is similar like a black box. So it's difficult to explain, even for technicians, how it comes out. The process between receiving instructions and output result is simply a noise reduction and denoising. Noising reduction and the denoising. The process that is normally can repeatable. For instance, you give the instruction, could be one time or two times or many times. But you can asking the machine, oh, I want to see the third time I give you the instruction. It's simply the machine get back to the third output.
So it's always the same.
Yeah, like a computer. We write it,
yes,
and correct it, and then finally, oh, maybe yesterday what the last version is much better than nowadays. And then I ask the machine, I give the data, and the machine can go back to the version yesterday.
Yes.
But for man, it's very hard to get to repeat the version.
Yes.
Yeah, you pay it, and then say maybe yesterday the payment is much better than.
Yes, and you can't get the former payment back. Yes,
you cannot get it back, and even you get it back with different ideas. I think it's not. It might be not the typical explanation between humans' art and the output of the machine, but it's quite clear that totally different. Art should have the idea or by the human, but the output of the machine is no idea, or no idea directly from the human. We just calculate it and find to exact the response matched your instruction.
Yes.
The machine cannot understand, or in a thinking way as people understand something. We just calculate, find the best solution matched your instruction. Am I right?
Yes, you're right, but couldn't this be deemed as a new modern way of art? Because the use of technology also enables to get those arts.
You can call it a new model art, a new model.
Because like you said, you also know artists who use AI, so it leads to new arts.
But the difference that people use AI as an assistant to get, because I want to paint a train by the building. I have no idea now which position is good, and to tell the machine, please give me a tree by the building, and then it's come. Oh, is it near? And ask. Oh, it's 2 meters wide, and then the machine can change it. That's the assistant.
So he uses it to get an imagination how we will do it later on.
So people can quickly get the comparison. If there is no machine, and maybe the architecture also asks his assistant, oh, please, you painted a train by the building. Let's see the result. Yes, maybe the just graduated young boy or young girl painting the train by the building to see, oh, it's good or it's not good. That's the labor. It costs a lot. You pay for the time, pay for the fees for the young people. But with the machine, its cost is much reduced.
And probably much faster.
Much faster. And finally, the architecture selected and decided, oh, this one is good, or this one is better. And then added something. Added a cat, a dog, or a car, or similar like that. And the final version with idea of architecture could be an art, right? But the art, if somebody copied it and selling it, you see, it's really, it could constitute copyright infringement.
Yeah, in terms of copyright, I think there's also a difference between, for example, the US court and the Chinese court. Yeah. Could you give us a few informations about that?
Yeah. The Library of Congress in US, the public office, refused to give the registration for an AI output, because according to the US corporate law, that the legislator only give the protection of artistic work and the output of AI, not the artwork. This is what I understand from the decision by the US Register of Copyright. They refused. Refused means the output of AI is not an artistic work, so that is not qualified as an artwork. no registration, that refused it. But in China recently, the end of last year and early this year, there is a new case relating to an image. The image is a pretty looking girl produced by AI under the introduction of the plaintiff. Plaintiff give the introduction.
And the IA made the girl or the photo.
The age, the style is Eastern country girl, and what the color, how the hair, like, yes. I sent the photos. Yeah, see, it looks pretty. It's a girl from Eastern countries, like that. And the defendant used to see, to get the image from internet and see, oh, it's good looking, and take this image in his platform, with his private platform, and the plaintiff saw it and think could be a copyright infringement and bring a suit to the courts. The funny thing is that the courts recognize it. The pretty girl, the imaging, is an artwork. This is firstly. Artwork should fall into the category of the copyright protection. And who owns the copyright of the artwork? And the courts give the decision that in favor of the plaintiff. The plaintiff has the right of the copyright of the image.
So they probably ruled just the opposite from the US court.
Yeah, what's your opinion to this quite contract?
So, like I said before, I would probably don't agree with the US court and agree with the Chinese court on this one.
So you have your own opinion?
Yes, I have my own opinion.
Yeah.
So I would agree with the Chinese court on this one and say that it is an artistic work.
It is an artist work?
Yes.
So you are in favor of the Chinese
decision?
decision?
I'm in favor of the Chinese decision.
Okay.
And I'm not in favor of the US decision.
No.
But I think you are probably on the opposite. Or what do you say?
You see, we take your opinion as an example.
All right.
Yes. You see, AI output is easier and cheaper and huge number of that. You see, it's very easy to get copied and similar item. I don't think the copyright its function is encourage people use AI and have the power, has the rights to control all the output of the AI. I don't think it's good. I think the reason is that AI machine is very easy to get images. Most of them, some days we could find, looks totally the same. And the most important thing is that it is if give the copyright of AI output is against the basic theory of copyright law. You see, what do you think of the basic theory of copyright law in your mind?
in my mind. I think that it needs to be updated to be on the very newest point of technology, for example, to cover also the AI factors.
We're talking about the basic theory of copyright law.
Yes.
Yeah. The theory of copyright law assumes that granting copyright to authors will encourage creativity, right?
Yes.
To encourage people, not to encourage machine.
Yes, but the machine is not able to work itself. It always needs some people to give the information so the machine can work. So in my opinion, the Chinese court ruled very good on this one because they said that the plaintiff has the right, the copyright. So I guess it is probably the best to give the plaintiff the copyright if he got a lot of information to give to the AI. Not only if he says, oh, let's create a girl, but like you said, he gave the age, he gave the hair, he gave everything, so the AI could create it.
Okay, that's your idea. Let's see, if the user of AI could make a short or long story for AI when he or she wanted the AI output for assistance, its creation is okay. It's also the normal procedure people use AI. And the short and the long story or instruction could be a literary work, right?
Right.
Yeah. For instance, the image, the age, the color, some fiction descriptions for what I think. That's the instruction, the word, the literary comes from the user's mouth.
Yes, exactly.
So this could be copyrighted. But as we discussed, as I know, is that when the machine gets all the stories, I don't think it's an understanding of the feeling of the people. He just find data, find the calculated, and find the best solution or match, not matched from the idea of the users, but matched with the word and come out the output.
So the more the user gives to the AI, the more detail it will get, and the more the AI work will be like
no matter
imagined it.
No matter how many times, and no matter how detailed you give the AI, when the AI gets the words in the machine, and that's all, people don't know what AI works, what the black box, and what will come out. People never know. No. It's come out, it might be the idea from the user, but it's normally it's different.
Yes, and like you said, you can't follow the process, how it come out. So you can't say which categories the AI used to create that.
Yeah.
All right.
So my idea is that it's not easy give the definite answer. AI output is not, because it's totally conflict with the traditional idea of art, or just now you mentioned a new model of art, and then we can discuss it. Maybe we can change the basic idea of art, the basic theory of art. We can discuss it. And if the basic theory of art not changed, we just follow it. Or our insistence of art is human creation. And then you said, well, machine is art is an art. That's we talk on a different stage,
Yes.
a different basic understanding of art. So that's caused too much, how to say, the big difference. And I don't think it's good for people to contribute to promote the idea to understand the art. Maybe you can go back to the basic theory of art, and then you can find that.
And can adapt it to the modern ways. Yes.
So
that's probably the best answer to that.
So for art law, we are talking, we can back to the theory for art law. From my understanding, the definition of art law referred to the regulations of art-related activities, including auction, dealing, contract, and a copyright, intellectual property, and art import and export, taxi, something like that, all related art activities. So it includes all applicable laws, regulations, and rules. In practice, it is usually served only for visual arts, but it's open. I don't think it's narrow art law as only for visual arts, but music, performance, movie, it's okay.
Theater.
Yeah, if people can, in this circle, talking or use the idea of art law is okay. But normally it's focused on visual arts. So this is the definition of art law. And art law is a new discipline, where it is most thinking in my mind recently, because I find the basic theory is very important. It's just well discussed about the art, AI output. If people, there is no basic understanding and basic theories, there is no use to promote the academy.
Yes, because there needs to be a basic understanding, the basic theory.
Different spaces, you see?
Yes.
So for art law, if there is a basic theory, so the theory, okay, let's go back to the idea of theory. Yeah, you have got 4 years education in law faculty.
Yes.
Yeah, and the professor always give you the idea of legal theory, legal philosophy. Yeah. What do you understand of the idea of theory? What is theory?
Yeah, there are several theories which can be adapted to solve several problems and also to get answers to those legal problems. Because with a theory, you have an basis everyone can use. So by doing this, you can just get the same answers on several questions.
You think theory is a definite answer?
Not always, no. It
Yeah.
can also be adaptable because not every case is the same. So you need to adapt the theory to get similar answers.
Okay. But for my understanding, theory is a hypothesis. Is a how to say? Maybe I can use to. I don't maybe a wrong word, is a hypothesis, is a conception, is unsure of the answer. It's only a hypothesis.
But it helps to get the answer.
Oh, we could say it's not help the answer. It's help to find the answer.
Yes.
Now, yeah. And also we can, in other words, it's a raise a new topic. Every theory is a topic. We just to do some research work, to do some investigation, to prove it, or to prove is right or false. For instance, in every cases, we assume that we could find a justice solution, right?
Yes.
But it's only a hypothesis. That depends on both sides. A defendant and plaintiff go to the court, and then both of the lawyers asking or fighting against for justice. Yes.
And they probably have different theories to that, so they get the outcome they want.
But they share the different theory or use the different theory or principles
to get the outcome they want.
But there should be a decision. The judges should make a final decision.
Yes.
To decide it, which one is mostly approach the justice.
And
right?
Probably most applicable to the case.
Oh, yeah. So art law series is also the similar. It's attempting to answer the real legal and ethic questions that arise from the understanding of art as it created, as interfered with the law, the society, as the law involved into the arts. So those real questions in the art activities, the art law theory should give the answer, or only assume is that maybe people assume or give the hypothesis is that art is a necessity for people. Art necessity for people. Art is inseparable from artistic freedom.
Yes.
Without freedom, without the art. Right? Yeah. Art law serves as to guarantee, to give the protection for artistic freedom. We just give this is only the hypothesis, not the real sometimes.
Yes.
If the art freedom interfered or disturbed by some power or some illegal or legal power, and then people or art law lawyers should do their job for the artist.
Because without the freedom, there isn't even a question about art law.
Right. So art law do things like that. Also, the art law also serves to eliminate all the misunderstandings towards the art and the law. You see, if you do some work, research in art law fields, you could find some misunderstandings of art and of law. There's a lot of examples. That's just like we are talking just now. What is art?
Exactly, that's one of the topics.
And also, I insisted my idea, but I received any criticize. to my ideas. It's okay. It's open question, but for people to discuss. But there really some misunderstandings towards AI output. From my understanding, not a lot. Yes. Yeah. It's not a definite answer. So it's need to discuss. Right?
Yes, right. All right. So let's move on to the next question.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, because we need to hurry a bit. The next question would be, in 2020, the German government has funded a total of nearly 15 billion euros regarding the topic of culture. Are there similar programs in China which are funding the topic of culture? For example, here, most of the money was funded for theaters, for music, for museums, for exhibitions, for everything related to the culture topic. Are there similar programs in China?
Yes. You see, the historical relics is their importance for every country the same. In China, when the People's Republic of China was founded in 1949, that is a long time ago, and the government quickly established the museums, and in the lower session, they drafted the special regulations and the laws to give the protection of historical relics. Yes, and nowadays, for each year, in the budget from the financial ministry, there is a big sum used for the protection of cultural heritage and also historical relics. Yeah. For instance, this year, according to the Ministry of Finance, there is a Heritage Protection Fund budget issued in April. That is 6.38 billion yuan. That means 850 million euros per year, but only for the heritage, for the national heritage, this part. And another part, you see, for the cultural heritage, there is two parts. One is intangible items. The other part is non-tangible, intangible items. That's, for instance, the oral record, oral stories, and also some technique used or in the villages, something like that. And for the protection, to protect our national intangible cultural heritage this year, also, according to the Ministry of Finance, get 105 million euros for the protection. And also in the cultural heritage, there is another very important part is called art law works. That is introduced already in China's corporate law. In the law, according to the article in Chinese corporate law, there is a special article announced that the government will draft regulations to give the protection of the copyright of the works of folklore. But these special regulations not drafted yet. But the Ministry of Finance gave the support and the budget for the draft of such regulations. Even me participate some investigations.
Oh, yes.
We do some investigations to see what the real situation of folklore works, how the rights holders living, and what's the need, what the purpose way to give the copyright protection is under the discussion by more than 30 years ago. But we have only a draft, a model, but around 10 years ago. But nowadays, there is not regulation come into tune, not yet, because it's also a very difficult or complex
Topic.
Yeah, not yet.
All right, but it's probably going to come in the next time.
Yeah.
All right. So they use law to also keep the national identity and secure all the natural heritage. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
So as we are talking about cultural artifacts and cultural heritage and all of the relating topics on that one, what steps is China taking to recover cultural artifacts that were removed from the country during historical conflicts? And what legal strategies are being employed?
Yeah. You see, for a long time, China cultural relics have been lost overseas due to a variety of reasons, including war, looting, and illegal smuggling. So since the founding of the People's Republic of China, the government has successfully facilitated the return of more than 300 batches of Chinese cultural relics lost overseas through the law enforcement and also the cooperation with judicial legislation, negotiation of and also the donation and skill and bilingual agreement
between countries all over the world. Yes,
and gives lots of the historical return back China. So there is two conventions international. One is UNESCO invention in 1970 issued. And also another is a Rome Convention for the stolen or illegal export cultural objects that is passed in 1995. China joined as a member of the two conventions. And also we have signed the by agreements with around about 26 countries, including the United States. You see, that means when the item is stolen to the United States, the government have the responsibility if they seize it and catch it, and has the responsibility to return it back to China. Also the same to the Chinese government.
Yes, I think Germany is also part of for example, in the UNESCO, and they also have a big history of stealing art and destroying art. So there are also many cases where Germany recovered the art and sent it back to those countries. So yeah, it is
Yeah.
informed. It's still going on right now. For example, last year, Germany returned several thousand to Nigeria,
Yeah.
several thousands,
Yeah.
which were captured during the wars and everything, and they returned it last year.
Yeah.
So it's still an ongoing process.
Yeah. Is through the suit or through the naturation or through the arbitration? In which way can German government return back the stolen art?
There is, since they are on the UNESCO with the topic, they also, they did an German law which allows them to seize those items and send it back.
Okay. There is a very typical case relating a statue of the body happened recent 20 or 30 years. In 1995, a village, Yangchun village, the name of village is Mountain Village, located in the middle parts of Fujian province, a statue of ancestor Zhang Gong. Zhang Gong is a Buddhist.
Mm-hmm.
He died 1,000 years ago, and people, in order to commemorate him and the prayer, and then make his body as a mummy, and make his statue and put it in under a roof.
So comparable to Egypt, where they are enemies, yes.
And which have been worshipped by the local people thousands of years. But in 1995, people found the statue disappeared. It's stolen. They are very sad, and even some people cried because the statue, Zhang Gong, accompanied them for 1,000 years, but suddenly disappeared, stolen by someone. But 10 years after, in 2015, the statue appeared in a mummy exhibition in Hungary museum. People found it when it's stolen. That is 10 years after. And the village know that the statue belongs to a collector in Netherlands, a Netherlands collector.
Mm-hmm.
So the villagers go to the Netherlands to bring a suit, asking to return back the stolen statue. Yeah. In 2016, the Netherlands gave a hearing, to see both parts, to receive both part opinions. And finally, we refused to give the order. Let's just return back to China. The reason is that because they not find that the villages has the rights. If they're qualified as a legal person, bring the suit to the courts.
So if they could be a plaintiff.
They are not qualified as a plaintiff.
Mm-hmm.
But this reason is not agreed, not received, not agreed by the villages. In fact, according to Chinese related regulation laws, the villagers, the peasants, they have a community.
Mhm.
A community could constitute an equal person and has qualified to bring a suit at the courts
In China.
in China. But you see, the difficult for settle such a case is that China and the Netherlands has no bilingual agreement
Mhm.
and not signed the agreement. And also, I think, and also there's some legal obstacles and problems to settle the case. It's not easy.
Because the court in Netherlands decided like
Okay.
this, and the court in China decided whole different.
Yeah,
All right.
but the villages disagree, and they bring a suit in China,
Mhm.
in local courts in China. And in 2020, that the first instance courts gave a decision in favor of the villages, asking the defendant, the director in that sense, to return back to the status to back China. And you see, I think the character of the statute in Netherlands is very polite with and also followed the rule of the courts. And then he did not agree with the decision of the first instance court, and then claiming the second.
They appealed against this decision.
Yeah. And the second instance court, that is Fujian, higher people's court, issued a final judgment in 2022, a final decision. Also give the decision that the first instance is right, confirm it, and in favor of the villages. Nowadays, this year is 2024. 2024, 2 years passed. The final decision. The status is not returned back.
It is not?
Not yet.
But is it going to be returned back?
The character from the media will know that the character of in Netherlands, he said he's willing to return it, but asking for some conditions that there are different requirements. He said that the status should be put in a museum, not in the village, something like that, and or asking for some compensation. Compensation is a big sum for the villages, because in a rural area, in the village, they have not enough money to pay such. And also the lawyers, in this case, the Chinese lawyers, I don't think that buying this statue back is a good solution.
No,
we
I
don't want to
think so.
buy it, but we can get some compensation by not buying it.
it also is not a good sign for the future, because then everybody who got a stolen artifact from China can just say, pay me and I give it
Oh,
back.
yeah.
So that's the wrong impression they leave with paying it.
Yeah. But this case is a very typical case that the first time for the Chinese courts give the decisions for the stolen items. That means that for every stolen items abroad, overseas, if you buy it, you collect it, you pay it on the art market, maybe there is a danger that when people find it's a stolen art, can bring a suit.
You have to give it back.
Okay, but yeah, you give it back. And when you pay for the stolen art, you could think about it. Even if it's not easy to return, but you could consider it a stolen art. You have a suit against you. There is a suit waiting for you. So it's a very typical, maybe it's a leading case in China in these fields.
All right. Did they ever found out who stole it?
Yes, not many items stolen could be found. But
And did they found out who stole the statue from the village?
No. Yeah, a lot of story, but the character, Nesland character, told to the media that he buy it from the market years ago. Not him stolen it, but he buy it. Yeah, unnoticeable. And before he buy it, before the case, he did not know it is stolen item. So, and also he insisted it should be the same as the stolen items. We always argue about that. But it's through the DNA and through some investigations, the courts finally, even the factor recognized it is the same stolen. But I think it's under discussion, next generation, how the statue will turn back to the villages. This is a typical case.
So, as we are talking about international art now, let's move on to the last question. How does Chinese law regulate the import and export of cultural property? And what are the main challenges in preventing illegal trafficking of art, like we talked about now, the stolen statue, for example?
The art, including cultural heritage, historical relics, are friendly ambassadors of international communication. Is very good for the art flow between country to country. And also China, as I mentioned, that in a long time in the war and in the historical period, lost a lot of valuable cultural relics. So, since the Chinese government realized the very importance of the protection for the historical relics, and since the Chinese, I mean, the powerful. China becoming more and more powerful, more and more, especially in economic science, and they have enough resources to get it back.
Yes, they're more wealthy now.
Yeah. So import and export tariff rates, tariff It's a very typical words in economics, maybe. Tariff rates for works of art have varies over the time for different category of works of art, even today. But the policies that the country is much reduce the tariff rates. That means encourage people
To import
import.
art, yes.
The general suggests downward trend for the tariff rate with the aim of encourage import of works of art. Yeah. And there is example of some cases. The most favorite national tariff rates for import for artworks ranges from 0 to 14%, according to the different categories. There is a very detailed tariff rate. We can have a chat.
Yes.
There is too many.
It's the same in Germany. It's the same in Germany. So
you could find is oil painting, is a handcraft,
yes, exactly.
Is
the statue, all kinds of art. Yes.
So import duty rate reduction and tax exemption policy also for state-owned public welfare collection unit, that is for state-owned museums and art galleries, 0 import tariff rate. If, for instance, the import of the art with meaning, importance of historical relics, and the state-owned museum and art galleries can receive the 0 tariff rate exemption without any import fees.
Yes, so they encourage them to import art.
Yeah.
That's probably a very good idea.
Yeah. And also in 2018, art import tariff reduced again. That is a recent year. For each of the years during the period, the tariff rate reduced, dropped. So we just know that the policy is similar like that. That is encourage imports of that.
Do you know anything about the export? Because, for example, here in Germany, I looked it up this morning, and here in Germany, the tax rate also depends whether what kind of art it is and everything. And for example, for the import, it lays between 7 and 8% to import art. The tax rate to import it's 7 to 8%, but for the export to non-European countries, it can raise up to 30% of the value of the art.
I have no idea why. So
it is probably the same. It's probably here that they import the law. They don't want to get it out of the European Union. So they want to have the art here. So they raise the price or they raise the tax to the export, but lower the tax for the import. So the art stays here. Is that the same in Chinese or China, or do you know that?
Yeah, you see, I have more time in this field, but as far as I know that in China, for some very important artists, not for all, the artists very famous and with a very special importance, especially their very typical artworks, is forbidden export. You see?
Yes, to keep it in the country.
There is at least, or maybe more than 100 artists forbidden to export. they are typical. Not all the piece of artworks can be exported, but only the typical one. There is a list. Is the same in Germany?
No, no. Here it is not the same. Here you can. Here it depends on how long it stays outside of the European Union.
Yeah.
So, for example, if they just hand it out to a country or to a museum in the US or in China, and the museum keeps it for 2 years, and then it comes back to Germany or to the European Union, there's no tax. But if it stays for 5 or 10 years outside of the EU, of the European Union, and it's not coming back, then they raise the tax. So you have to pay a very, very big amount of tax.
You see, just I mentioned that in some policy, the similar, like there is a line. I mean, the line of the year that below the year that no item can be exported in order to protect the historical relics.
Yes, and to keep the national identity.
But what the export rate, I've not noticed that, or I've not
Looked it up, yes.
Notice. So, but I don't think in Germany, I have no idea why it reaches so many, so high, the export.
It can raise up to 30%. It depends on very, very many factors. It is to keep the art here and to have the artifacts here.
You see, for some of the important artists, their work is rare and very important, could just protect it within the Germany board, no export.
Yes.
It's good. It's good. But you see, the tariff rate, even very high, that means the historical art piece of work can be exported, right?
Yes.
Only the money. But for some rich men, money is not a big problem.
Yeah, but it could also be a factor when you think about exporting art.
Okay.
So I think it's because of the freedom of the market. So they don't want to forbid anyone to export something.
Yeah.
And they just do it indirect with increasing the tax.
There might be another reason, is that the customer wants to collect the money.
Yes.
Right? Because this is a business. You do some business, you export to other countries to make money. So you should pay for the export.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, it's not only for the protection of the national.
No, I don't think so. Also, it's also to make money.
To make money,
yes.
To collect the money to support the national.
Yes, exactly. Like we mentioned, all the fundings from the government, they are because of this money they can fund.
Because you make money, and big sum of money, so you should pay a little bit for government, for the customer.
Yes.
Right? So
the government can fund cultural heritage and everything, like we talked about.
So what about the tariff rate in China's export? I should have a look. Back China.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So thank you very, very much for the interview and the dialogue. I think we managed all 5 questions we have very good. And thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I'm very happy and honored to talk with you.
Yes, it was also an honor to talk with you. Thank you very much.
It's an outdoor dialogue.
Yes.
It's most of my opinion is my own opinion. Not representative, CAFA, not representative, my used institute I worked. No, it's only my opinion, my private opinion for the dialogue.
Yes.
And also, if any audience have some criticize and ideas different, they can contact with them.
Yes, we can put the contact links in the description, and they can also ask questions, and we will connect them with you.
Yeah. My purpose to receive your interview and we make the dialogue is to promote the idea of art law and promote the study of art law theory.
Yes, I think it's getting more popular year by year. For example, if you see the art law clinic here was unique worldwide in 2018 when it was established. It was the first one ever. And now there's one in South Africa. There are ideas of opening one in Georgia. There's one in the USA. Your institution has a similar program. So I guess it's getting more and more popular year by year, which is a very, very good sign.
And also the internet supply a very simple and a cheaper way for people to in the different countries
to
communicate through the internet.
For example, our interview. That's probably the best example.
Maybe later this year or next year we can have more dialogue, more interview, more exchange ideas through internet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Among the students, among the professors, and even among the lawyers. For instance, we discuss the return of the stolen arts. We should find the best solution to encourage people
to do this,
to encourage the government to
participate more on this. Yes.
Project. Yeah.
All right.
Good.
So thank you very much for listening and for watching. And if you have any questions or want to reach out to Professor Zhou Lin, just reach out to him. It's in the description. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. How long we took?
I will go to Professor Zhou to make it stop.
Oh, 1 hour. Okay.